And cut down the lead runner for out number 2.
And that's a great play by Carly Davidson, coming and getting this ball, being quick off the jump, off the ball, off the bat, and getting the lead runner out.
Let's go, Robin!
Now this is trouble here. Not that the previous hitters haven't been, but Gabby Garcia. Herron trying to slam the door right now, something she's been so good at this year. Robin Herron allowing opponents to hit 3 of 47 at the plate with 2 outs. It's a batting average so low that you can't even really spit out the number because it doesn't sound like a batting average. It's less than 100.
And for Robin Herron throughout the course of the season, when she does get runners on base or is down to 2 outs, she has been laser focused.
Three and one now. They don't want to walk her, but they're certainly not just going to fire in a get me over strike either. Got her to go up in the zone, and the count is full. Now it gets interesting.
And this is when you're this type of hitter that applies pressure on a pitching staff and a defense. As a pitcher, you are trying to work the border, the corners of the plate, not throw anything through the heart of the zone.
Fouled off. There's a hitter in this spot, too. You could have 4 or 5 fouls in a row, and you're just fine with that, right? Because you know with every one of them, you're just continuing to deflate. Until you get one like that. 2-out walk for Gabby Garcia. 2 aboard for Oklahoma. Already a run on the board here in the top of the first. Ilana Agbayani.
And for an offense, of course, the goal is to score and manufacture runs early on in the game, but it's also trying to work the pitcher, get her pitch count up as quickly as you can. Not only is that more information to take back to the dugout, but you're just wearing her more.
Just missed the lower inside corner there. Good pitch from Herron to Agbayani, who was the player of the game on Wednesday in Oklahoma's win at Tulsa. Agbayani with an RBI in all 4 of her plate appearances, finished with 5 total for the game. And talked about just how much fun this Oklahoma team is having when they're passing the bats, which seems to happen quite often, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And one thing, just with had played against OU, watching them throughout the courses of the seasons, their dugout, the energy that they have is consistent every single game that they play, and there is something to be said about that.
There's a strike from Herron. A 1.30 ERA so far for the lefty Robin Herron, who's already got her name plastered all over the Arkansas record books. Well, records are nice, but Sydney, she's pitching like a player who wants to get Arkansas to a place where they've never been before, and that's to Oklahoma City at the end of the year.
And this is Robin Herron's first year being the true ace for this staff, and she has been laser focused from the beginning.
High and deep to left center field, on the run, making the catch, Reagan Johnson. Able to chase it down and get out of the inning, but OU does strike in the top of the first. production. We talked about Ellis earlier, but man, Reagan Kramer in the 5th spot. She is having the best year of her career.
Reagan Kramer has been a consistent player for the offense throughout the course of her career with Arkansas. Coach Stiefel, and not to mention, let's talk about the very limited amount of strikeouts that she has offensively. That's what's impressive.
Reagan Johnson, who has been an unbelievable table setter for this Razor, now a junior. The Texas native, top 10 in the SEC in runs scored and stolen bases. Now, this was an issue on Wednesday when Sam Landry came into the game. There was a discussion. She was called for an illegal pitch because the foot came off of the rubber, stepped forward, and then you had the secondary foot coming forward as well. And so it's kind of an explanation here that they're giving to her early on, maybe something to watch.
And let's take another look at this. So as a pitcher, your front foot has to stay planted on the rubber as you push off. It cannot pick up and replant again. And one thing that was made mention in that Tulsa game, that was something that shook her up just a little bit.
Landry ended up having a really good outing, though, ultimately. She gave up the run that inning, as you mentioned, so maybe got to her a little bit, but to her credit, was able to buckle down the rest of the way. Finished with 3 2/3 in relief, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, and maybe the most important number, no walks. That's key for them today.
Very key, limiting the amount of runners on the base path. Both coaches, Coach Stiefel, Coach Gasso, they talked about not giving the other team more than what they deserve.
Reagan Johnson, 2-time first-team All-Region, first-team SEC a year ago. And she'll take her free pass.
And this is huge for the Arkansas offense. Typically in the game of softball, the amount of times that you can get the leadoff hitter on, you're going to find a way to score the run. And with Reagan Johnson on first base and the speed that she has and this Arkansas offense this season, manufacturing runs in different ways, the pressure can be put on.
First pitch strike in to Wyckoff. Now for Landry on the year, 37 innings pitched. That's only her 5th walk. Came in with one of the best strikeout to walk ratios in the country. Hard through the 5-6 hole. Johnson will stop at second. And that's a good aggressive piece of hitting from Kaylee Wyckoff.
Great swing by Kaylee Wyckoff. And on the defensive placement, Gabby Garcia was shifted a little to get to that ball.
Here's Bree Ellis, and this is the exact situation that Oklahoma wanted to avoid. Anytime they see Bree Ellis come to the plate, they want the bases empty.
Similarly to Garcia, Bree Ellis is the type of hitter that you want to pitch around.
Just missed low. No active Division I player with more than Bree Ellis. Ranks 3rd among active D1s in career RBI with 183.
And for Sam Landry, utilizing her off-speed pitch, she just went back-to-back changeups, and that's a really good approach against a hitter like Bree Ellis.
Strikeout for Landry, just busted her inside.
And that pitch combo, let's take another look at this. She went back-to-back off-speed pitches that Bree Ellis did not bite on and then came hard and in. It's a great setup.
Courtney Day takes a first pitch strike. I mean, as a right-handed hitter, there's nothing you can do with that, is there?
With the break that Landry has on her drop ball coming that hard and inside, and it breaks so late that you can't get the barrel out in front.
Smacked foul. The bat of Courtney Day. This is career game 199 for the senior from Pearland, Texas. If anybody understands this rivalry, it's Courtney Day, who transferred from Texas. The Red River rivalry between the Longhorns and Sooners.
College World Series is also recently read out of 266 of their last games. They've won 200 out of 281 of their last games. They've won 266.
Wow.
I mean, that is just outstanding. And not to mention only 15 losses through 4 years of their national championship run. Only 15 losses.
Well, and you had last year, you know, once they got into conference play, they actually lost a series, then they lost a second series, and everybody kind of thought, okay, maybe this is the year now where the streak is ended. But once you got to the postseason, they were a freight train not to be stopped. Did lose one game in the Women's College World Series to Florida, but turned around and avenged it to get to the finals where they beat Texas in 2 games. And a leadoff walk for Sydney Barker. That's the second walk that Oklahoma has taken. And you look at just how much they're outscoring the opponents. 13 run rule wins. Just ridiculous numbers. But on that same note, you know, Game 3 against South Carolina last weekend, they hit no home runs and still proved that they can win a close, low-scoring game like that. It doesn't have to always be by offense, and that's kind of what makes it scary for the opponent.
They do a lot of hit and run, bunt and run, fake bunt steal. It's what this offense is made off of, is just simply momentum, putting runners in motion and finding ways to execute and get. Tubry Ellis at first.
She had to hurry. Even if she picks that up cleanly, I don't know if she's going to be able to get that to first in time to beat out the speed of Dayton.
Exactly, and with the speed of Dayton, that ball just barely coming off of the end of her bat, it is a play that you have to be quick to, fieldly clean, and get it over to first quickly.
You can see that one being discussed for a long time in the booth where the official scoring has happened. I think you could make a case either way, but wait and see how it gets scored at the ballpark. Back to the top of the lineup, though, as the Sooners get to see Robin Herron's second time through.
And this is where seeing a lot of pitches come into play. We are only in the top of the second inning and already back to the top of the lineup.
Had her off balance there.
It's a great off-speed pitch that just falls right off of the table from Robin Herron.
Let's go, Robin!
To the right side. Davison's got it. Side retired. Leadoff reaches, but a double play. Hogs get out of the inning unscathed.
Of softball and how they have shaped it and evolved it. There is a lot to be proud of within that family.
And Patty Gasso said, you know, I would have believed maybe that both of my sons become coaches, but softball coaches, you could tell it just has her brimming with pride for her 2 boys.
And another thing that she made mention of that was so interesting that I loved is that she felt like this matchup today or this weekend is a celebration in her eyes.
One away here in the second.
And that's what Landry does best, keeping the ball low in the zone, getting her defense to get outs.
Us, Arkansas got a walk and a hit to start the first inning. Things were looking promising, but Bree Ellis, who's been the most powerful hitter in the country, Sam Landry was able to buckle down and strike her out, and then got a double play ball to end the inning. That threat was squashed real quick. Ella McDowell in the box.
And what makes Sam Landry so challenging to hit off of is the ability that she has to change speeds. That's one thing as a hitter, is being able to adjust to speeds, but then the movement, it is not straight. It comes out of her hand on the same plane, and right at the last second, it takes that late breaking bite.
Landry ahead, 1-2. Boy, that's a good pitch and a tough one to lay off of.
And a 1-2 count, very tough pitch to lay off of, but for Sam Landry, that is just barely missing the bottom of the zone.
McDowell well hit to right center. And in front of the track, Sydney Barker able to chase it down.
And for Sydney Barker, she got a great jump initially right off of the bat, tracking it down in the right center field gap.
A lot of versatility for Barker. She can play a good first base as well, which is a spot they're going to continue to try to get her reps at. But she's played second, short, first, and the outfield this year. Versatility is kind of the common theme in today's world of softball, but you don't see many players that can play all of those that we just named off.
I was just about to say, Josh, the biggest asset that you can have in the game of softball is the ability to be versatile, play multiple positions. Not only does that earn you a spot out on the field and keep you in the lineup, but it allows the ability for your team to be able to shift the defenses whenever they see fit, a coaching staff to shift the defense when they see fit, depending upon the opposing team that they're facing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like majority of the players that play for Oklahoma are versatile in the ability that they have to play numerous positions.
No doubt. Two-two to Davison. Popped up into right. Barker again. This one a little bit more manageable. Landry retires him in order. First team All-League. And Robin Herron, who's been really good her entire career, but what she's done this year is just taken it to a whole new level.
The prestige of the pitching staff and the pitchers that have come through this Arkansas program within the past few years have been so dominant. And Robin Herron, this is her first season being the true ace for this Arkansas staff.
Well, fans aren't going to blink when this player's at the plate. Nellie McEnroe-Marinas with a home run in the first inning. Right now, that's your difference in the ball game. Her 6th bomb of the year pushed her RBI total to 22. And only the 4th player that's gone yard off of Herron.
And not to go back to Robin Herron, but in this moment, one thing that Coach Courtney Deifel talked about is between last season to this season, working with Robin on quite a few things, but the biggest thing was confidence, knowing that she belongs here and that she belongs to be the ace and in the circle, going to fight for them every single weekend. That was the biggest thing that they worked on implementing, was just that confidence of you belong, you've got this, you can do this.
Well, Herron getting that strikeout, I don't think anything is more indicative to the point that you just made, that she had to believe she could do it there after giving up the home run the first time. You bounce back and say, that was then, this is now.
It's all in about how you can respond, how you can throw that punch back, and when adversity strikes, how are you going to respond to it? And for Robin Herron, that is a huge pitch.
Sanders really leaned back, took a big cut there. The senior coming in with a 569 OBP. That's among the league leaders. Takes one up high there. You know, she's among the active Division I players, top 5 in career walks and home runs. Kind of says that she's patiently aggressive, doesn't it? I think that'd be the only way to describe it.
I was about to say that is the only way you can describe
the free pass. So she's been aboard both times today. And that's the third walk that Herron has issued.
And for Robin Herron, her off-speed pitch is working more precisely in the top of this third inning. And as a pitcher, the name of the game is to keep the hitters off balance. In between her rise ball and changeup, she's doing a great job of offsetting those pitches.
In for a strike, 1-2 now. The outside edge.
And for Robin Herron, throwing that curveball, cutting away from Pickering, she comes back with the off-speed pitch to get her striking out looking. That is a big-time pitch by Robin Herron. And right now, her pitches are dialed in, and the pitch combo that she's utilizing is keeping OU off balance.
Couple of strikeouts this inning now. Sandwiching a walk. Sanders, who stands on first. Gabby Garcia walked her first time up. And Garcia had only hit in the 8-9 hole until last weekend. They put her up into the 5 spot. Went 5 of 11, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. And she's there again today now for the 5th consecutive game. And you can see the last 9 overall, what she had done early on in this stretch is kind of what forced the hand and then bumping her up into the heart of the order.
You know, for Garcia, one thing that I've noticed throughout the progression of the season for OU is she's very patient at the plate, but she also attacks early in the count. And I think that is a derivative of the numbers that we're seeing, is how early in the count she attacks when that first pitch strike shows up.
Comes in on a 9-game hit streak. Backwards K on opening weekend last weekend. Things can change in a hurry.
Especially within the SEC, every pitch, every swing, there is that intensity. It's emotional. It can be draining at times. But so far in this game, it has been Robin Herron and Sam Landry who have locked it down in the circle, only allowing each team one hit. And one thing that both coaches talked about coming off of that first weekend of SEC play is in the circle, limiting the amount of walks, really honing in on executing pitches. That was one thing that was the biggest takeaway from their series against Ole Miss and South Carolina. One of the best things that, and this is going to sound so simple, Josh, but one of the best things I was ever told, and my team was told during my time of playing college softball, is the best defenses in the country, they know how to play a high level of catch. That's it. Knowing how to play a high level of catch is what will excel your team and propel you forward. And I know it sounds simple, but it's so true.
Take note, young softballers. Hope my daughter was listening right then to you. Skied up and out over near the Razorback bullpen. Well, Landry had to miss a little time, obviously, was eager to work back into things. Came on in relief on Wednesday at Tulsa, looked pretty sharp in that outing. And getting the job done so far here today. Coming in with 69 career wins, second most among active D1 pitchers. Be something if OU had the top two, wouldn't it? Oh, they do. Isabella Smith is the active leader. So you've got veteran, experienced, proven winners, and a lot of them.
And Sam Landry, it is the aggressive drop ball that she has within her arsenal. Such late breaking movement, it makes it difficult to get your barrel down to that pitch as a hitter.
Allowed the first two batters she faced to reach safely, but has retired 7 straight since then, and now it's back to the top of the order in Reagan Johnson. And you can see just how focused Oklahoma is on Johnson's speed. They've got 5 infielders here. Sydney Barker, who is the right fielder, is playing to the shortstop side of second.
And taking a look at this defensive shift, she's going to pitch away from Reagan Johnson, forcing her to hit it to the left side of the field. Looking at Reagan Johnson's spray chart, she does not hit a lot of balls to right center. Everything is center and the left side of the field.
Worked a walk first time up.
And for Reagan Johnson, she knows where she's going to be pitched on the outer part of the plate.
Her ability to adjust seems like has made her among the elite. Right now, a .379 career average, which is the best in program history. Able to take that just outside.
And it's the tools that she has in her toolbox, the ability to bunt, chop slap, soft slap, power slap. She'll stand in and swing away on occasion. She does all of those 5 things on a very high level.
That one kept low in the zone, not near as much outside, but still a tough one to try to hit when you're trying to run out of the box.
And that's a great job by Reagan Johnson. Landry's going to keep the ball low in the zone with her drop ball, and as a slapper, that's an optimal pitch to chop slap, driving it hard into the ground to get that high bounce.
That was really close. Landry with kind of a half grin on her face saying, I'm pretty sure that was strike 3, but that's all right. I'll hang in here.
Come on, Reagan.
Payoff.
And even with having Sydney Barker pulled in to the infield with Reagan Johnson's speed, they're going to have to field the ball cleanly.
Come on, Reagan. Come on, Reagan.
Staying alive here.
And this will absolutely go down as a quality at bat for Reagan Johnson, seeing more than 8 pitches in her at bat. That's one thing that Coach Courtney Deifel talks about that they really like to track throughout the progression of the game, is quality at bats that the hitters have and high leverage at bats.
Payoff pitch 3. Third time a charm in play, and Johnson still able to find a way aboard.
And with
Wasn't even close. Wackenrow Marinas takes care of it. One left on for the Razorbacks in the third.
and her drop ball that has kept the Arkansas offense off balance. And for Robin Heron, it was the top of the third inning. She started utilizing her off-speed pitch a lot more. It was more precise. So for the offenses, it's how are you going to adjust? What are you going to attack earlier in the count? What are you going to sit on?
Ilana Agbayani flied out to the warning track in left center first time up. First year transfer from BYU, where she was 2-time All-Region. Her BYU team pulled off an upset last year in the series at Oklahoma. They stole a game, and Agbayani 4 of 5, 2 doubles, 2 RBI in that contest. And they knew who she was coming in, but they definitely knew who she was coming out of that series, where she finished 6 of 10 overall. And so she shows up in the transfer portal, and that was a pretty easy decision for the Sooner coaching staff.
And you know, it's so interesting with college athletics nowadays and the ability to transfer players in. You see them in a series, you know, where they're playing against you, and then eventually they can play with you.
Agbayani will take a free pass. Fourth walk issued by Heron. Now she comes from pretty good genes. There's Benny.
And Benny played nearly 400 games across 5 seasons in Major League Baseball, playing for the New York Mets, the Colorado Rockies, and the Boston Red Sox. It's pretty incredible when you're able to do that in the MLB.
Barker, check swing, the appeal. Yes, she did. Kennedy Miller, that's why you always ask for that appeal if you're the catcher. That's a big difference here. Forced Parker to swing with a little bit of pressure added on.
And the crowd wanted that one. They really wanted that pitch.
Barker walked her first time up. That was the lead off the second.
Let's go, Robin! Yeah! Keep guessing!
Check swing foul to stay alive. Barker, the freshman, hit a 3-run homer in her third game as a Sooner. And the stock just continues to rise on her as the season goes on. Coming in hitting .385.
And talk about a consistent hitter so far throughout the course of this season. She has only had one strikeout. That's the plate discipline that Sydney Barker displays.
Good work behind the plate by Miller to keep that one close, keep the runner at bay. Now this is the spot where Herron has just been really good. With runners on, sometimes you see the pitcher numbers kind of falter a little bit. Opponents hitting .086 against her with runners on base.
And talk about the presence that Kennedy Miller has behind the plate. Those are both great back-to-back blocks. She only has one error behind the plate and 310 chances within her career.
Elite level stuff. Courtney Deifel, a former catcher herself at the professional level, and said, you know, her ability back there, it just gives our pitchers all the confidence in the world that they can bury a pitch and it's no big deal. You don't even have to worry.
Come on, Robin!
Deifel in her 10th year now, the SEC Coach of the Year in 2021, has brought 3 SEC titles here to Fayetteville, including 1 tournament title. Great battle here by Barker. Now, there's times when you see Patty Gasso and she's enjoying herself just as much as the fans are. Asked her, you know, what are the moments that she enjoys seeing the most? And this was up there at the top of her list. These extreme battles at the plate.
Robin Herron with the momentum all day long. This is a late breaking rise ball that starts about at the Oklahoma letters and just works its way up through the zone.
Abigail Dayton, who reached on an error first time up. Now you kind of look at the scouting report on Robin Herron, and when it comes to the rise ball, it could be anywhere starting out mid-shin all the way up to the forehead. Sliced foul down to the left field corner. Only 1 hit allowed today for Herron. And runner left early. Gets Arkansas out of the inning. A little bit less work they have to do. 4th inning. And Arkansas just chasing a run here, but take a look at this.
And for Bree Ellis, Coach Courtney Deifel said that Lenny Malkin and Bree Ellis complement each other so well. And yes, it's due to the power that they have, but looking in each of their swings, it's the way that they drive their backside and they utilize their lower half so strong. And their point of contact, it is short and quick and long through extension. And that's what supplies all of the power. Your lower half is what supplies it. Staying long through extension is what gets the ball out of the park.
Ellis trying to make something happen Arkansas fans were on the edge of their seat in the first inning with 2 on and nobody out. But Sam Landry was able to get the strikeout. Busted inside with that drop ball.
And for Sam Landry, she is just living there on Bree Ellis. We can see that Bree has moved to the back of the box to be able to see that break a little bit longer.
Was only the 3rd strikeout in 83 plate appearances for Ellis. So not only the fact that they were able to get her out with 2 on, but getting the strikeout to keep the pressure off of the defense. And the power numbers have always been there for Ellis, but has gotten so much better with her vision and discipline at the plate. Strikeout every 4 at-bats in 23, 1 in every 6 last year, and then elite level this year. And on the USA Softball Player of the Year watch list for a good reason.
And the fact of the matter is Bree Ellis knows how to hit both sides of the plate so well. She has the ability to hit the inside pitch. She's able to stay on the outside pitch. And when you're able to hit both sides of the plate, that's what's going to lead to a lot of success. For Sam Landry, what a pitch sequence. She started off earlier in the count, busting her inside. She worked down and away, and for this strikeout, came back in with the up and in screwball.
First pitch strike to Courtney Day. Now the level of consistency for Courtney Day has been really impressive. You see a lot of times, you know, the scouting report gets out on a player who has success early in their career, and it just makes it tougher and tougher and tougher year by year. But she's hit 300 or better every year of her career, including utilizing the COVID year, so the super senior. Just, if you're waiting on a down year to happen, it just never has, and certainly isn't this year. Kind of a rhythm out there.
And for Sam Landry, earlier in the game, it was utilizing that drop ball. And the fact of the matter is she has so many dominant pitches in her arsenal. This inning, we're seeing her utilizing the low rise ball a little bit more, and it's effective.
How about Reagan Kramer and her progression now to this year? Look at the numbers, one of the best on-base percentages in the SEC. And for a long time, Courtney Deifel has praised her ability to, you know, see and have her strike zone and then not stretch that for anybody. But the difference this year is just she's kind of knowing what pitches are coming and able to get her hands on it a lot better. Only 1 strikeout in 66 plate appearances, and none in her first 61 to start the season. That tells the tale. Taken all the way there.
And for Reagan Kramer, Coach Courtney Deifel, she said she's the Robin of our lineup, but she also went into detail about how having Courtney Day behind Bree Ellis, it protects Bree Ellis, and then having Reagan Kramer behind Courtney Day protects Courtney Day. But with the consistency that Reagan Kramer has, she's in that spot in the line. A solid piece of hitting. This is an off-speed pitch that she keeps her hands back on. She gets a
6th extra base hit of the year for the senior that they call Jimmy. Story goes, tried out for a travel team. Coaches didn't know who she was, number 99. Those coaches apparently knew somebody from their past that they played men's fast pitch with who was also number 99, so they just started calling her Jimmy, and it's stuck ever since. Whoever the real number 99 Jimmy was, I don't think he wants to pitch to Reagan Kramer.
Absolutely not. And I think within the conversation, when all of that transpired, it was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm Jimmy now, sure.
Gotta embrace it. Don't sweat the little things. Just keep going about your business. Somebody who goes about her business, but in a fun way and finds the joy in every moment. Ella McDowell, her emotions on the field and off, just infectious with this team. A pitcher-batter matchup here. Both players from outside of the Houston area. Ella McDowell from Richmond, Texas, Foster High School.
And for both of these programs, Oklahoma and Arkansas, they get highly recruited girls out of high school. And for Ella McDowell, she was the number 3 overall player coming into Arkansas and the number 1 outfielder in her class by extra inning softball.
Back to the circle, Landry makes the play. Side retired. Razorbacks strain one in scoring position. Still down a run.
It was at a 1-0 ball game.
Dayton going after the first pitch. Skied up. Rio makes the catch. A big league pop up there, 1 away. Back to the top of the lineup, Ella Parker. Just inside, Miller holding it for an extra look, trying to help out Robin Heron.
And for Ella Parker, one thing that this offense has started this inning between Dayton and Parker is moving up in the box to catch Robin Heron's break earlier.
Again, close pitch, but Parker knows her zone.
And I think that's a smart decision, moving up in the box with the rise ball that Heron has. You're almost attacking it as it's breaking versus getting to it after it's broken. And it also enables a little bit less reaction time on the off-speed pitch.
That's in for a strike. Heron, one of 2 perfect games in Arkansas history, did that at the beginning of last year. Slice, drifting foul, running over. Kramer makes the catch on the run. So here's the big shift again for Oklahoma. And this time it's Dayton who comes in from the outfield. She's playing second base there.
And also by adding in that fifth outfielder, the ability to move over into the 5-6 hole, that is obviously a slapper's sweet spot on the field. And for Reagan Johnson, when she power slaps, she pounds balls through the 5-6 hole. So with that fifth infielder coming in, that just takes that away.
Landry says, I can take care of it from here. Gets Johnson this time. Razorbacks leave one strike.
That, changes the game, but so far Herron and Landry have been so precise in their locations of their pitches.
Heart of the order to bat for Oklahoma. Sydney Sanders leading things off. How about 3 RBI in the decisive game of the Women's College World Series last year? Legendary stuff for Sanders. Popped up and just hit the screen before it came down, not giving Ellis a chance to get it.
And for Cindy Sanders, she has been a part of this OU program all 4 years and has been a consistent player for this OU program all 4 years.
1-1. Got her to chase up in the zone.
Come on, Robin!
Close pitch. Crowd wanted that one for Robin Herron.
And for Kennedy Miller, that was a great job behind the plate, framing that pitch, getting it pulled back into the zone.
Arkansas lost the first 2 games of their SEC opening series at Ole Miss last weekend, and for Courtney Deifel, her team ready to play in the finale, won 20-3. Popped up right back to the circle. Sanders retired. And for Coach Deifel, she said it was the approach and the mentality that her team had, and then the commitment and the execution of the plan that was the pleasing thing. That process, it's not about the final score or what the result was, but all about the process, right? If you stay focused on that, the result's just supposed to come along with it. Now for OU, a pair of 10-9 victories in the first 2 games of their series against South Carolina. And then 2-1 in Game 3.
In that Ole Miss series, Coach Courtney Deifel talked about the response that her team had on that Sunday game. She said after Friday and Saturday, we gave them a few things that we wanted to see changed, and they responded. For the South Carolina series, it really came down to a few defenses, miscues for Oklahoma, but Patty Gasso, she talked about how last weekend was very draining. It was very exhausting because every pitch, every swing is intense, but she loved the way that her team fought back and how they stayed composed all 3 games.
Pickering earns the walk here. A walk and a strikeout today.
And for this offense and Patty Gasso, the way that she coaches, we can expect Tia Malloy to be put in motion here for them to find a way to piece.
Malloy scurries back to first. Two down here in the 6th. Agbayani steps back to the plate. Career .374 hitter. 0 for 1 with a walk today. Flied out to the track in the end of the first inning. Beg your pardon. Ball hit deep that Reagan Johnson was able to track down. Went 4 for 8 with a double and an RBI in that series sweep last weekend. Got to team up with her sister last year at BYU, and now playing second base for Oklahoma. One-two pitch. Right back to the circle. Heron to first. Side retired. Sooners strand one. Still leading it 1-0. And terrific so far today. Here's Kaylee Wyckoff to lead it off. The two right fielders in this game. Wyckoff for Arkansas. Pickering, who's now in right for OU. Former teammates on Hot Shots Premier. Got to see them a few years ago win the USA Softball Gold Nationals. The 16U division. Their team fended off elimination like 7 or 8 times in that tournament. It was really cool to watch, and those two were some of the most boisterous leading that charge. Stays in the field of play, but out in no man's land. Wyckoff with a hit back in the first inning.
To first base, even with a little bit of being off balance because of the ground she covered. And that is a bang-bang play, Josh. That is very close.
Ellis, check swing foul on the first pitch. Liked how Agbayani dropped to one knee when she made that throw. It kind of helped prevent her torso from maybe over twisting a little bit.
For the ground she had to cover, she got around the ball and was able to keep her weight on her back leg, her right leg, to gun it over to first base. And that's the thing about this OU defense is they can cover so much ground on the infield and the outfield. Balls that are typically hit through the 5-6 hole, 3-4 hole, they're balls that they're making plays on.
This ball is hammered to left, but in position. Dayton makes the catch. Ellis finally gets a hold of one. But Dayton right there to make the play, and there's 2 out. Courtney Day, who will play her 200th career game later in this series, comes in top 10 in the league in slugging and RBI. This play much easier for Agbayani. Makes it. Razorbacks retired in order. Weak positions at the collegiate level. Second most nationally, trailing only Patty Gasso, according to D1 Softball. And of course, Deifel comes from the Patty Gasso coaching tree. She was a GA in 2008-2009 at Oklahoma, but you played for Coach Deifel, and I know that you're not surprised to see so many of her former players or coaches go on to do great things, still doing great things in the coaching ranks.
Absolutely. Between Coach Courtney Deifel and Patty Gasso, again, I know I've said it, but the way that they are shaping and have shaped the game of softball and helping others to go on and be great within the game, it really speaks volume to not only the women but the coaches they are.
Hannah Coor getting her first plate appearance of the ball game. Came on in this spot for Sydney Barker as a defensive change back in the 5th. Not a ton of at-bats, but has made the most of them. 4 of 12 at the plate and has driven in 5 runs. I have trouble throwing things away. Sydney had to look back at some old scorecards from calling some travel ball national championships for Alliance Fast Pitch, and OC Batbusters under Coach Mike Stith. Hannah Coor, one of 5 players in one game, as I was looking at an old lineup card. One of 5 now current OU players, all on that OC Batbusters team. Coor, Dayton, Parker, Agbayani, and Maya Bland.
And for Emmerling, striking at first pitch strike. Noticed over the past couple of innings, this Oklahoma offense, they have been way more aggressive earlier in the count, not allowing Heron to get ahead of them.
Dayton gets the bunt down. And good play by McDowell, able to get it over to first, where Carly Davison covers. Sack bunt, 5-4. Dayton does her job. 2 in scoring position now for Oklahoma, who's looking for some insurance here in the 7th. So Ella Parker steps in. Big spot for her, and this is where you want a player not only of her ability, but just her makeup at the plate. One of the toughest in the SEC to strike out. And we're right here, you're just looking to put the ball in play. Try to bring in that runner from third, but with first base open, they're going to be very careful. Miller set up way outside the plate.
And for here with Parker up to bat, with it being a 1-0 ball game, they're going to pitch her off the plate, going to intentionally walk her. And from there, then it puts them in a position where bases are loaded and they've got to play tight defense.
So it brings the bases loaded, and the player right now who's got the different...
Allowing bases to now be loaded for McEnroe Marinas. Robin Heron's going to have to be precision.
Strike in the upper half.
With bases loaded, 1 out, this forces the in that looks like it's just about getting the job done.
That's right. So now an opportunity for Sydney Sanders. Homered last weekend in the conference opening series.
As an offense, they get a runner on base, they put a runner in motion, they bunt, and then from there, it's on.
Pinch running at second base for Sanders is Cheney Helton. Pickering takes first pitch strike. Cassidy Pickering from Humboldt, Texas. Homered in both games of the Women's College World Series Championship Series against Texas last year. Walked her last time up. It was her 25th walk of the year. amongst the national leaders. Great job behind the plate by Miller to keep that one close with 2 in scoring position.
Come on, Robin!
Trying to work that upper outside corner. Herron had only allowed 1 hit through the first 6 innings, but 3 here in the 7th for Oklahoma.
And right there from Robin Herron working Pickering on the outer part of the plate with runners at second and third, 1 out. You're wanting to force her to hit a ground ball to the left part of the field so that you can look the runner back and get the out. For Robin Herron, she issues the walk. For Gabby Garcia, finding a way to drive in 2 runs.
We've already seen it once in this game, back in the 4th inning. Oklahoma called out for that. There you go, reviewed, call upheld. One more look.
So as we can see here, her foot that is on the base has not left the bag yet, and Robin Herron has released the ball, so she is on time there. As a runner, if you leave before the ball is being released by the pitcher's hand, that's when you leave early, but in this instance, she had contact with the base the entire time.
Well, that's why the review process is in place, so there you go. And we turn our attention now to the new pitcher, Cam Harrison, freshman from Brookshire, Texas, out of Katy High School, takes over.
What Oklahoma can expect from Cam Harrison, Coach Courtney Deifel talks about how she's a fearless fighter. Similarly to Robin Herron, her pitch arsenal is she works with her rise ball, throwing it through different planes of the strike zone. She offsets that with an off-speed pitch, and she really likes to live east to west.
Facing Ilana Agbayani right out of the gate. Pickering at second, Garcia the runner at first. This has been a long top of the 7th inning. This is the 9th batter for the Sooners. Keep in mind, this was a 1-0 ball game through 6.
And leading up to this inning, we were seeing your classic game of softball, a total and complete pitcher's duel. In this 7th inning, it is all about which offense is going to make the adjustment first. And for the Oklahoma Sooners, they attacked earlier in the count, putting the ball in play and manufactured their runs to get the 6-0 lead.
Keep in mind, doubleheader here today. Game 2, 45 minutes following the conclusion of this Game 1, right here on SEC Network Plus. Cam Harrison's come in some tough spots already in her first collegiate year. Her first collegiate start only gave up 1 run on 2 hits against San Diego. She picked up a save early on, and then the day after her first save, she inherited a base.
And for Agbayani, the pitch was up and in, and she got her barrel out and around it, driving it through the 3-4 hole, finding a way to drive in a run.
First pitch strike to Hannah Kaur.
And Kaur started things in the top of this 7th inning, and OU has worked back through their lineup.
That's in for a strike. Harrison came into the circle a week ago at Ole Miss, gave him 3 scoreless innings in relief, showing she can handle the pressure of SEC play. Able to battle off there. Razorbacks will have spots 5, 6, 7 due up when they come to the plate in the 7th inning. Got her to chase one outside. No need to complete the throw there with first base occupied. 2 away. First time to the plate for Maya Blands. Came on as a pinch runner earlier this inning for Isabella Immerling. Only 14 at-bats this year, but has already homered once. A .429 on-base percentage for Bland. For some of these underclassmen for OU, you give them limited opportunities, and they always seem to make the most of them. It's a tough job that coaching staff has got.
And that's one thing about Patty Gasso is she will shake the defense up a little bit midway through towards the end of the game, allowing some of the freshmen to step up in critical roles. It not only allows them to have that sense of feeling that pressure, I guess you could say, but getting in the game and stepping up in big moments. And I think it's amazing how she will utilize so many of her players throughout the course of a game, just not sticking to the same 9.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Cam Harrison. Able to get Arkansas out of the inning. Razorbacks one last chance. They need a big-time rally. For the 7th inning, they get 6 runs on 6 hits. Get into the bullpen. And now a commanding 7-0 lead. Here coming into the bottom of the 7th, Sam Landry trying to close out what has been a dominating performance in the circle so far here today.
Sam Landry has been absolutely dominant in the circle, utilizing all of her pitches, throwing them in different counts, keeping the Arkansas offense off balance. But for Arkansas, being down 7 runs, it's one batter at a time. It's not striving for the long ball. It's getting runners on and taking it swing by swing.
Kramer has one of the 3 Razorback hits. That one rolling, but foul first. Kramer doubled down the right field line last time up. 4th double of the year. Landry trying to get her 70th career win. For Reagan Kramer, former All-Region selection. Read where as a kid she wanted to play in the NBA. She was a really good multi-sport athlete growing up and through high school. Nice job at first on a hard hit ball. Sanders takes care of it.
And on a hard hit ball like that, Sanders did such a great job of keeping her glove down and staying through the short hop that the ball had late break on.
Landers retired 8 of the last 9. First pitch strike to Ella McDowell. You never know exactly what you're going to get in a freshman, but this is one that they were pretty sure was going to make an immediate impact, and she is not disappointed. Emanating 360.
The ball low in the zone. She has forced a lot of ground ball outs.
Carly Davison, with 2 outs and the bases empty, takes the first pitch strike.
12 of the hitters faced by Sam Landry today have been issued by ground ball out.
We talked about Arkansas trying to reach that final stage, trying to get to the Women's College World Series, and this is a player who knows what it takes to get there and knows the feeling of being there. Davison with Utah reaching the pinnacle. Hogs down to their final strike here in Game 1 of the Twin Bill.